Once upon a time, in a serene valley surrounded by snow-capped mountains, there was a tranquil monastery known for the wisdom and compassion of its monks. These monks lived in harmony with nature, dedicating their lives to understanding the deeper truths of existence and striving for enlightenment. One sunny afternoon, a group of 108 monks embarked on a journey across a mighty river that flowed through the valley. They had decided to attend a gathering of spiritual leaders from distant lands. The boat that carried them, crafted from the finest wood and expertly assembled, was filled with laughter and jovial discussions. The scent of lotus flowers surrounded them as they floated downstream. Each monk shared insights from their teachings, debates on mindfulness, and reflections on the nature of reality. As they reached the center of the river, dark clouds loomed on the horizon, swallowing the sunlight. A fierce wind began to howl, whipping up waves that crashed against the sides of the boat. Even the most adept sailors would have been filled with dread as the tempest raged around them. The monks, however, remained calm in the face of the rising storm, emphasizing the importance of equanimity in moments of upheaval. Suddenly, a lightning bolt cracked through the sky, illuminating the scene in a blinding burst of light. The sound of thunder echoed like an angry deity, and in an instant, the boat capsized, tossing all 108 monks into the churning waters below. The river, once a placid mirror reflecting the sky, had transformed into a treacherous torrent. Panic enveloped them as they struggled against the powerful currents. Each monk fought to save himself, swimming as best they could towards the distant shore. Most of them were skilled swimmers, trained in the art of sustaining momentum and maneuvering through obstacles even in the hardest of circumstances. One by one, they crawled out of the water, drenched and shivering, soaking but safe. However, amid the chaos, one monk, a gentle soul known for his humility and compassion, found himself drowning. Despite his efforts, he struggled to stay afloat, his limbs growing weaker with each passing moment. Fear gripped his heart, and he closed his eyes, surrendering to the water's cold embrace. Just then, a bystander watching from the riverbank, a brave villager named Ananda, saw the monk flailing in despair. Without a second thought, he dove into the turbulent waters. The villagers had always revered the monks for their wisdom and peace, and Ananda was no exception. But now, he was faced with making a choice that defined his humanity. Despite the danger, Ananda fought through the murky depths, straining against the current that threatened to pull him under. He grasped the drowning monk and, with all his strength, swam towards the shore. With a final push, he reached the bank, dragging the monk from the water's clutches. Ananda collapsed on the ground, gasping for air, but a sense of relief washed over him as he saw the monk breathe again. When the other monks regrouped and realized what had happened, they were overcome with confusion and curiosity. They gathered around Ananda as he caught his breath. "Why did you save him and not anyone else?" they questioned, their brows furrowed with incredulity. Ananda looked up at the gathering of monks, his heart full of compassion. "I am a human being," he replied, his voice steady. I felt for him. In that moment, I saw a life struggling, embracing the depths of despair. To me, that life was precious. I could not turn away and ignore his suffering. A moment of silence followed, and the monks looked at each other, pondering his words. They were trained scholars, steeped in teachings of non-attachment and impermanence. Yet here was a simple villager who illuminated a profound truth. The bond we share as human beings transcends doctrine. Compassion arises from our innate connection to one another. Driven by earnest curiosity, the monks began to engage Ananda in conversation. They exchanged ideas, stories, and thoughts on compassion. Ananda spoke of the love and kindness he felt towards his own family, emphasizing how they inspired him to act for others. He explained that he always believed in the interconnectedness of all living beings and felt compelled to protect that bond. One monk, who had long studied the texts but struggled with the essence of compassion, expressed a feeling of inadequacy. "I have spent years in meditation and reflection, yet I feel that I lack the courage to act selflessly when it truly matters. Your actions seem so simple, so direct. How do I embody such compassion in my own life?" Ananda smiled warmly, recognizing the longing in the monk's eyes. Compassion is like a seed. It grows from the ground of our hearts. Until we nurture it, we cannot expect it to blossom. Every deed counts, no matter how small. It starts with recognizing the struggles others face. Find ways to connect, share empathy, and open your heart. In doing so, you will strengthen the roots of compassion in your life. Inspired by Ananda's wisdom, the monks collectively considered a question that transcended their teachings. What does it mean to truly practice compassion? Over the next few hours, they engaged in deep discussions, reflecting on their experiences, and they began to weave Ananda's insights into their understanding. In time, Ananda became a cherished visitor at the monastery. The monks looked upon him not merely as a villager, but as a wise teacher who had revealed to them the transformative power of compassion. With every visit, he brought stories from the world outside their serene valley and ignited a spark of inspiration within each monk. They found new meaning in their teachings, no longer solely focused on profound doctrines, but also on how they could apply these lessons in daily life. Weeks turned into months, and as seasons changed, so too did the hearts of the monks. They ventured beyond the monastery's walls, offering help to those in need. Whether it be feeding the hungry, mending broken relationships, or simply sharing a kind word with those who were suffering, they became an integral part of their community, embodying their teachings through action and forging connections with those around them. Ananda's simple act of courage had changed the course of their lives, leading them towards an authentic expression of compassion that flowed naturally from their training. In giving their hearts to others, the monks found solace and fulfillment within their own souls, living fully in every moment of their lives. They realized that enlightenment does not arise merely from introspection but flourishes when we choose to connect with the world. As time went on, the monks learned to balance their meditative practices with engagement in the community. They learned that enlightenment is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be experienced, one that embraces both solitude and connection, introspection and action. And so, the story of Ananda and the monks became a cherished legend, reminding all who heard it of the profound depth of simple human compassion. They learned that when we reach out to those in need, we take a step closer to understanding ourselves and our shared humanity. In the end, the message woven throughout the experiences of the monks and their newfound friend reflected a timeless wisdom, that the power of compassion lies in its ability to transform lives. Each person's choices matter, and it is through our conscious actions that we can influence the world around us. Today, just like these monks, let us be reminded that the path to self-improvement and enlightenment is found in the humble acts we perform daily. Compassion is not an isolated practice, but a thread that binds us together. Embrace it, nurture it, and let it grow. Remember, every gesture of kindness, no matter how small, can ripple through the lives of others, fostering change that lasts long after the moments have passed.